Welcome back, BettorOff fans. It's been a long time, maybe 3-4 weeks now. We're pumped to be back. So let's just give them a quick little recap. So we came down, we're in Florida currently. We came down here a couple weeks ago, sorry. We got COVID, so we were stuck in our apartment, couldn't do much. Weren't feeling too well, so we weren't up to filming. We're feeling good now.
Yep.
We're at another location now in Florida, just to let you guys know we're feeling good. We're ready to film. We're excited to get back, give some hockey content out. Anything you want to add?
Nah, that's basically it. I mean, I hope you guys missed us or whatever. And yeah, lots happened. Like in the past 3 weeks, I'd say we're probably the most eventful weeks of the season that we missed out on.
Exactly.
And let's get into the two. I'd say, well, we'll go one topic at a time, but there are
exactly.
two massive things that have happened involving international play.
There you go.
I think we'll start off with the World Juniors.
Yeah.
One of, I'd say, the saddest things that have happened. It really sucks because this is the chance for the guys who aren't on a big name team, let's say, or haven't really been watched to just break out. We saw it with Canada's goalie last year, Devin Levi, who broke out and now then got traded in a trade for Sam Reinhart, right, being one of the main pieces. And it really just goes to show that the World Juniors is an opportunity.
It's a showcase.
It's a showcase, yeah.
And, on a personal level here, me and Noah, we come down to Florida, I'd say, every year. And it's around Christmas time. The World Juniors are on. We love just staying at our place, watching some World Junior hockey.
Yeah.
And, it sucks that it was taken away from us. But, it sucks for the players. Like you said, it's a showcase. Guys have a lot to prove. A guy like Bedard, who came into the World Juniors as a 16-year-old, barely see that ever. I mean, McDavid did it. A few others did it.
Bobrovsky, Bouwmeester, Crosby, and a couple others.
Yeah, a couple others. But, a guy like him, a guy like Wright to show that he's the true number one pick. And, a guy like, let's say, Caden Gooley, show his leadership, his tough play. Show himself as, a top prospect for the Habs. Yeah. But, it sucks. They were talks about moving it to
the summer. I don't know. I mean, if you guys know Jesse Pollock from Bar Down, he tweeted, he's like, you can't just cancel this tournament, have it replay in the summer. So I hear that and I'm thinking, like, yeah, I agree. Like, it sucks for the teams that are out because they're just going to go there and play one game or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but, I mean, it's still their chance to showcase. I think if they did do that, what they would do is they would have, like, each team play, I think, 1 or 2 play-in games just to kind of get their chemistry back, right? Because you can't just pick it up and be, oh, yeah, here, go right into a round-robin game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to the teams.
I agree.
And, I mean, listen, as fans, this summer, there isn't any hockey in the summer, so that would be great. However, there is something else they can do this summer. I think where I'm going to. Something else about international play is they should do the World Cup of hockey because the Olympics got canceled.
It did.
Now, I mean, a couple players spoke out on it, right?
Brad Marchand, Connor McDavid.
McDavid was the other one. How do I forget that? I mean, they were both two different comments. You want to go over Marchand's comment?
Yeah, we could go with Marchand. So Marchand said that, during COVID, the NHL teams had the taxi squad.
Yeah.
So essentially what it was, a group of players, forwards, defensemen, goalie from the minor league. They form a little taxi squad. They practice with the team. But they're, it's kind of their own little bubble. So the goal of it is, say, pick a team, Montreal Canadiens. Say Carey Price and Shea Weber get COVID. 2 guys from the taxi squad now jump to the NHL squad, and they play the games with them. So Marchand's comment was, the NHL allows teams to have taxi squads throughout the year, so why can't we have a taxi squad for the Olympics? Personally, I mean, it's kind of a hard idea because you're going to need, it's going to have to be a big taxi squad because, let's say, one player or a couple players get infected within the group, it's going to spread quick, and you're going to need a big taxi squad. I don't know what you think.
I mean, listen, first of all, I love how the players are not happy and speaking out. I think that's great. I mean, listen, when the minute I heard that 5-week quarantine and could go up to 5 weeks, for me as a player, I can't risk that. You're getting, first of all, someone like Marchand, let's say Crosby, Ovechkin, right? The older guys, Patrick Kane, right? they don't want to quarantine for 5 weeks, lose their possible chance of the last Olympics, and then lose like a couple of weeks left in their career just because they have to stay stuck in quarantine, right? And then come back practically. The older guys, personally, I think they really don't want to do that. The younger, like it's just no. Sorry, go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw in that you said the older guys, but even the oldest guys, they have families. You know, leaving for 5 weeks, stuck.
Easy.
You know, it's not something. It's not something on their bucket list. I mean,
and it honestly really does suck because the Olympics is when we get best on best, right?
Yeah, which is what McDavid said.
And McDavid brought up a great point, and I'm happy that he said it because the fact that he said something means it's probably going to happen. If we can get a World Cup of hockey, I think that'd be incredible.
I agree. That'd be nice. We saw that, I don't know how many years ago, but that was great.
17. Oh, it was the best.
That was even better than the Olympics. I mean, the Olympics bring you, it's a once every 4 years type of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, you know, it's really cool to see that, the ceremonies and all that.
Yeah.
But the World Cup of hockey, from a hockey standpoint, and as a fan, I mean, it's better hockey. At the end of the
I
day.
loved it. I loved how they did. It was Canada, US, North America, Europe, Finland, and Sweden.
Them what North America and Europe were.
I don't remember North America.
Okay, so Europe was just, you know, all
all the Slovakia, Slovenias.
Yeah, so the countries from Europe that
Czech.
really don't have a big base, so they just bring it together. But the North Americans were Canada and U.S. under 21.
Oh, that's what it was?
And that's when it's just like, it felt like a World Juniors just, you know, with a bump of age. So
they would, who would be on that team?
well, when they did it was McKinnon, McDavid, Matthews.
Gaudreau.
Think about putting
right.
that, Eichel.
Now I think it would be like Caulfield, Zegras.
Oh, there'd be more,
Who else is
I
there?
can't think
I
of
can't
more.
Even think. Like McTavish?
Yeah. No.
Gooley?
There's better than that. Way better than
So
that.
that's what I mean. Like, imagine like how cool that would be. Like, listen, they're probably gonna lose, but you would love to see. Imagine seeing like McDavid, McKinnon on, let's say 3-on-3, like McKinnon, McDavid, and McCarr versus I don't know, like
we don't know.
Zegras, Caulfield, and someone else. Like that would be cool.
Yeah,
and I mean, I think the NHL should really do that, and I think they should do the Team Europe. I think they should do those 6 teams because you know we've done our digging within like the Finland team, the Sweden team, those guys, and Russia. Like Russia, that's what we forgot.
Russia, that's true. Yeah.
And listen, they're not as good as Canada and U.S., but like they're gonna put up a good fight. Those teams.
They do, especially Russia. I mean, such star
Russia,
power on their offense. You want to go through some of the names?
I was talking about Sweden and Finland, but Russia. I agree.
Yeah. Russia's got Ovechkin, Kucherov, Kaprizov, Panarin, Kuznetsov, Tarasenko,
Malkin, Svechnikov.
8. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, Kuznetsov wouldn't be able to play in the Olympics actually.
Why is that?
Because of
a ban or something.
A ban. I think the cocaine he did.
Okay.
They all do. Did you hear about the World Juniors team quickly on the plane?
Go on. Yes,
they got kicked off the plane because the Russian team because they were smoking cigarettes and blasting music.
Yeah, that's classic Russians, man. They don't know their limits. But okay, let's just say, end it off here. But final stance: World Juniors. Do you think it should happen in the summer? Cancel, or what are you thinking?
I think you do
because I don't think you can. It can't be the best of both worlds. You can have the World Juniors and the World Cup. So
yes, you could. You can have the World Juniors after the playoffs. You can have the World Cup before the season.
All right. So that's what you're saying.
And then you have free agency and draft in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think they could do that. And I think they will. I think, like, if Gary Bettman wants to make money because that's all he likes, he's got to do this. And you know where he's got to do both of these events, sadly? He's got to do it in the States because COVID here isn't as strict.
Yeah, that's true.
So they can't do it in Canada and risk the fans not being there. Got to have fans.
That's
and I think the World Cup would actually be an amazing thing. Because, like, personally, like, guys like us, like, we want to see Crosby and McDavid. Those are the 2 best of our generation.
Right? I want to see Crosby and McDavid just playing out there on the power play. I want to see Kucherov passing the puck across ice to Ovi for a one-timer.
That's what I'm saying. I want to
see this stuff. I want to see the best of the under-21s.
The Americans too. I want to see Matthews and Eichel and Patrick Kane. Like I want to see this.
Yeah. I also just want to see the battles. You know, like top goalie spots on every team. You know, top position. Like who's gonna be the guy, McDavid or Crosby? Anyways, we'll end that off there. We'll jump into the actual NHL. We're gonna just touch briefly on the NHL. I mean, a lot has happened, but there's COVID, so the delayed season was kind of a big problem. So what we're gonna do is we each have 2 teams to keep a close eye on heading into 2022.
Yeah.
It's currently January 2nd, so Happy New Year to all of you. We forgot to say that.
Oh yeah, it's true. Happy New Year. That happened fast.
Yeah, happened very fast. All right, so you want to go first team to watch in 2022? We'll go 1-1-1.
Yeah. Okay.
And give a reason why, of course.
So this team I've always been a fan of.
Okay.
They have, they're still their core three from when they won that cup a couple years ago, of Letang, Malkin, Crosby,
Oh,
Pittsburgh Penguins.
Wow.
Now, I've always been a big Penguins guy because I just think, honestly, the Capitals like also, but like the Penguins more. I just think Crosby is just a winner. He's a winner. He doesn't like he always makes the playoffs, always does well. He's a winner. He knows how to lead a team. Also, their coach, Mike Sullivan, in my opinion, is probably the first or second best coach in the NHL. Wow. I think it's him, Barry Trotz, and Gerard Gallant are the top three. Also, today, actually, when we're filming this video on Sunday, they're supposed to get Brian Rust and Jake Gensel back, and next week or the week after, they're supposed to get Evgeny Malkin back. So you have all your guys healthy. You have Tristan Jarry, who's playing out of this world. You have the Crosby, Rust, Gensel line. You have the Malkin, whoever line. Like they're going to be scary right now. They're by far in the first wild card. They played 30 games. The Rangers have played 32, and they're like 6 points behind. Okay. Like a game back.
Yeah.
I think they could go on a streak and a half.
Okay. Fair.
You?
I agree with that. I know Malkin. I'm curious to see what Malkin does when he comes back. It's been a long, long layoff for a guy that's getting up there in age and who was never, the fastest skater, and coming off an injury like that, it's going to be...
What was his injury?
He's had knee problems. He has a problem with his knee, got surgery. Whatever, we'll see. I'm sure he'll be fine.
He could retire after this year.
He could.
I'm excited to see it. He's a free agent.
That is true, but we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that after.
But so let's head on to my list.
Yeah.
Number one, this team to watch in 2022 was one of our picks. To make a Stanley Cup run.
Yeah.
It's been a little confusing. They are ranked 16th in the NHL.
Yeah.
But it's because of their games played. COVID has really messed them up. They have 27 games played. The rest of the league has 31 to 33. Colorado Avalanche. So they've had a lot of issues with injuries, COVID, like I just said. McKinnon was out. McCarr was getting injured. Darcy Kemper, their starting goalie, was hurt. Francouz was out. He's finally back. I know he hasn't played in a while. But that's a team, when healthy, you saw what they did. And I think I know you're making a face. I know you don't like the comment here. But Colorado, when healthy, I know you think they have the star power on offense, and they don't have the depth. But when you have McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog, you see how Kadri's doing right now. He's carrying the load. He was a beast with McKinnon out. Probably one of the second best line centers in the league. Yeah. I think this is a team to watch. I think starting now, they're going to make a run. And they're going to go on a streak, and you'll see them within the top 5 in the standings in a couple weeks.
So I think their decor is beautiful, perfect. I think their goalie's perfect. I think their first line's great. I think the second line center's great, and then I think everything else is terrible. I think the rest, their forward core needs help. They got to go out the deadline, and they got to trade for a couple guys. You know who I'm going to bring up? The Blake Colemans. Excuse me, the Barclay Goodrows. You got to go and trade for that. Small example. Look at a team like Ottawa. A Connor Brown, go trade for that guy.
Yeah.
He's a playoff guy. I love him. I don't want him to leave. But you got to go get guys like that who can fill in. Burakovsky, he's pretty good. He's a good third liner.
I don't think you're giving them credit.
Because it happens every year and they don't prove themselves. So I don't think
it happened every year with Tampa. It happened every year with Washington.
That's different because they had the depth.
They break through. Tampa never had the depth. When they finally won, they had the depth, of course, but the main guys, like, even now people say, is McKinnon a winner? Like you said, Crosby's a winner.
Yeah.
Is McKinnon a winner? Is he that guy? Do they have the starting goalie?
They do have the starting goalie. And I mean, listen, no. Tampa was making it far. They were losing in the Western Conference, the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. They had Killorn, Palat on the other lines. Who do these guys have?
Fair enough, but I don't think you're giving their depth guys enough credit.
Agreed.
I like Burakovsky. I like Confer. I like Donskoy. I like Tyson Jost.
They don't have Donskoy anymore.
That's true. That's a very good point. Okay. Anyways, I love their decor, like you said.
Their decor's good.
Unreal, McCarr, Girard, Taves, Eric Johnson, Bowen Byram, I know I'm missing one. But anyways.
Do they still have Taves?
Devon Taves? Yeah.
Did he get traded?
No, Devon Taves is on it.
Oh, that was the other guy.
No, he was hurt. But okay, and just to end it, a reason why they're on my to-watch list is because of your reason. One move can put them over the edge, and can solidify them as the best team in the league.
I think it's 2 moves, but
Anyways, number 2 on your list.
so
This is something we'll discuss after off cameras.
Yeah.
It might get a little physical, but
Yeah, maybe I'll win. Let's talk about. So here's the thing. Before this video, right?
okay.
I had a team. I was like always saying, I was like, these 2 teams, like they made some moves in the off. They made 2 big. Each team made big moves in the off season.
That's very true.
And I said both teams need a change of management. And it's a tie for second. That's why. And both teams did.
Fine.
One team, it's really working out. One team, they haven't quite pieced it together yet. So my first team, I'll do the easier one, the Vancouver Canucks. Bruce, there it is. I love that. They were my team to watch because they are 7-0-0 since getting Bruce Boudreau. I think he's a hardcore coach. I think these guys just needed Pettersson and Hughes to get their feet under them. They traded for Garland and Ekman-Larsson this offseason. Demko is a stud in nets. I love that guy. I think they're a team to watch, and they're just going to keep going up. They're going to make, I think, a trade at the deadline, and they're just going to go up, and they're just going to keep winning, and I see them going deep in the playoffs.
Sorry, we'll talk about the Canucks a bit.
Yeah.
Canucks' is top 6 is unreal.
Right.
Let's go through it. What's the first line? JT Miller, Pettersson, and Besser.
Let's just say hypothetically.
Then you got captain,
Horvat.
the best second-line center in the league, in my opinion. I mean, off the top of my head.
He's up there.
He's up there, for sure. Bo Horvat, like you said, newly acquired Connor Garland, who really is a stud.
Oh, he is so good.
He's so fast,
Nobody realized
so
how good
skilled.
he is.
He's 5'5" or something, but he's really tough to play against. That kid works, man. And, a guy like Tanner Pearson. But I know the move you want them to make. Go get a real second-line player. Move Tanner Pearson to the third line. There you go.
And they have some other guys down there, and I forget.
They do. But their decor is looking nice as well.
Right,
Ekman-Larsson was a big ad. I feel like Quinn Hughes, he got that contract, but he's not that guy yet. And I think having Ekman-Larsson relieves some pressure.
I agree.
And I think he'll learn off him because they're very similar players. They're great skaters, very offensive-minded. And Demko, of course, in the back end, with a guy like Demko, a top 6 like that, a couple D-men like that.
Even Tyler Myers is still pretty solid.
Tyler Myers is still solid.
Yeah.
Anyways, a team to watch, agreed.
So I think, that was my first team. So the second team is the Winnipeg Jets. They fired Paul Maurice, if I'm right.
Paul Maurice, yeah. Well, no, they didn't fire. He relieved himself.
Oh, really?
I think we should touch on that a bit.
Yeah.
Because Paul Maurice...
he was there since the beginning.
So I heard this. He resigned, but they weren't doing that bad to the point where he had to get fired or have to resign. So I looked into it. I watched his press conference. It was like a 25-minute press conference. And, he started to cry, and it was tough to see because...
Maybe it's mental.
Yeah, it is mental because he took over that team when they were rock bottom. He brought them up, and that was his goal. Bring them up, sustain a high level, and, of course, win a cup. He didn't. He's come close. They've made the Western Conference Finals, I think, once. They've always been making the playoffs. And you could tell he's a great guy. He means well. But what he was saying was COVID and the bubble and
screwed him up.
It just screwed him mentally. He didn't enjoy going to hockey. He didn't like coaching. And his quote that he kept saying was,
there it is.
I can coach this team to the point where they can compete, but they're good enough to where if they have a coach that is more into it and more dedicated than him, they could really make a run. And they deserve to have a coach that's more dedicated than them. So he felt like it's for him, his family, and for the team, and for the rest of the management, it's better if he steps down. So a real class act move. It's good to see.
That is good to see.
I don't think they renamed the coach. I think they just put their assistant coach, the interim head coach.
Well, then there was the pause. It happened right before the pause.
True. Anyways, continue on them.
So continuing on them. Sorry, quickly. If you guys saw, I was looking at my phone because it's tough sunlight. I saw. So indeed, Brian Russ and Jake Gensel just got healthy.
There you go.
So they're both off the IR.
Is that a team to watch?
Good one. So the Jets. So I mean, listen, they made actually a couple big moves this offseason. They got what's his face? They got on defense Nate Schmidt and Brendan Dillon.
Yeah, huge.
And those guys are
solid top 4 D.
Solid playoff performance.
Yes. And just rounded out their decor because
their decor was weak.
Winnipeg their knock was, they got Josh Morris, they got Neil Pionk. But other than that, what do you have? Tucker Pullman, a bunch of slow guys who can't move the puck, can't skate. Hellebuck on the back end. These two moves really help Connor Hellebuck and just help their offensive core. Nate Schmidt was very good in Washington.
I know.
Sorry, was solid in Washington.
Very good.
Was their 6th, 7th D. He was young. Good puck mover. Went to Vegas, was unreal.
So good.
Went to Vancouver, right?
Yes,
For
he was
a
all
year?
right. No, he
No,
signed
no.
like a $5 million deal.
Okay, and he got traded. Right?
Yes, because he didn't have a
He
good
was
year.
solid in Vancouver though until that last year, and they're like, okay, too much money, we'll dish him. But I agree, I do like their decor now.
And I think
Talk
and
about
their,
their
and their
forwards.
forward core is very good.
Phenomenal.
You have Hellebuck in nets, first of all. You don't need that many D. But their forward
you
core,
do,
they've got I don't know their lines exactly.
No, just name them.
But it's like, let's just say Cotter, Scheifele, Wheeler, Ehlers, Dubois, Kopp, Lowry,
Oh.
Vesalainen.
Yeah,
Is that
Lowry's
his name?
good.
Lowry's Stastny.
Lowry's good. Stastny.
Paul Stastny, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm telling you. But the thing is, you know what the problem is right now? Scheifele and Wheeler are not playing well. And Connor is slowed down.
Scheifele finally been back to Scheifele.
But
Wheeler, we talked about him in a podcast earlier.
we did.
I know that.
Said he was
because
going to slow down.
He's slowing down. He's of age. He's never been he's never been a fast player.
Yeah.
He's never been the guy to have the puck on his stick. But, as the NHL evolves, it's nice to see, speed kills.
Yeah.
And Wheeler, he's losing his touch quicker because of it.
Sucks. He's really hit the decline fast. I find that's the problem.
Yeah, but
And
he's still their
listen,
leader. He's still a great second-line player.
100%.
And Connor and Ehlers and Duba, I think,
Are
are the
just
new
going
blood.
up. Yeah.
Duba's conscious that it's going to be interesting to see if he stays. Scheifele's playing back to how he should be. But
Yeah.
like you said, they've got the decor. They've got the Vezina caliber goalie. It's going to be interesting. to
And it's
see
crazy
the
because
coaching.
I see these two teams slipping into the wild card, and you know who I see slipping out? The Oilers.
Wow.
Because
Really?
the Oilers really disappointed me.
Really.
Really.
Beginning
because
of the year, we loved them. Drysdale and
McDavid.
McDavid. Opposite lines. Both playing unreal. 2 lines, and we've always said, you need 2 or 3 lines to win a cup. It's never a one line.
we said
show.
Nugent Hyman worked out.
Nugent-Hyman worked out, and Darnell Nurse was actually out for a long time, so that was a big blow for them because he is.
I think I said
unreal.
Barry's overrated.
Barry is overrated, and of course their goalies. They have
Goalies,
no goalies.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
I don't want to touch on this too much.
Same.
I'm just gonna say briefly, but their goalie situation
That's a big problem.
is a big problem, and there's reasons to believe that we're from Montreal, so the media is crazy down here. The journalism is just exaggeration over exaggeration. Everyone is saying Carey Price in a 3-team deal is going to go to the Edmonton Oilers.
That would be great for him.
So
I hope.
Carey Price to the Edmonton Oilers because it makes sense. They need a goalie,
Yeah.
and it's close to his home, right?
Yeah.
And a third team involved to take on some of the salary cap, and Montreal will retain some because Edmonton doesn't have the cap. So Edmonton would have to give up a lot to get, let's say, Carey Price at 25% of his salary. But they need a goalie.
Thing is, the problem is they would have McDavid, Drysdale are untouchables, but between Hyman, Nuge, Nurse, Duncan Keith, and Barry,
Nurse is untouchable.
one of those 5 guys are going to have to be in that
It'd
deal.
be Nuge, but Nurse is untouchable. You
I don't
can't
think it'd
trade.
be
He
Nuge.
is. It'd be Nuge, guaranteed.
All
You
right.
can't trade. You can't trade Nurse.
To be
Barry's
Keith.
not
I think
enough.
it'll be Duncan Keith.
Duncan Keith.
Just to get rid of I'm talking about salary reasons.
Yeah, but
And Koskinen, that terrible contract.
yeah, they
Listen,
have.
they're
That's
dumb.
true.
I don't want to talk about that.
Anyways, let's move
Jets
on.
in Vancouver.
Jets in
Penguins.
Vancouver and the Pens. Second on my list, I only have one team.
Who is
The Vegas Golden Knights.
Nice. I
We
agree with you.
talk about them a lot. I feel like
Nice.
every episode we bring them up, and a certain guy on their team who has yet to play a game, and they're still 7th in the league, Jack Eichel. They've been battling injuries all year. Of course, Jack Eichel, who was traded a couple months ago,
Patches,
hasn't played a
Stone.
game. Stone can't stay off the IR.
Actually,
Patches,
he might be healthy today.
hopefully. Patches just had wrist surgery, out indefinitely. I'd say maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, a wrist surgery timeable. That's what I'm thinking. But think about it, okay? I know a guy. Hold on, let's go through the top, okay? Or the bottom. Robin Lehner, who has been average, but they're still somehow 7th in the league. Their goalie's fine. Brossois, backup goalie's been playing unreal.
Really?
Yeah. So they have Lehner and Brossois. I'm okay with that.
That's a great tandem. That's fine.
Shea Theodore,
Oh, I love that guy.
Martinez,
Yep.
Petrangelo,
Braden
McNabb,
White Cloud.
White Cloud, very underrated.
Yeah.
Belongs in the top 4.
Same with
decor somewhere.
McNabb. McNabb's underrated.
yeah.
That's a. And then I think Nicholas Haig's the other one.
Haig or yeah.
Yeah. I think their decor.
I like
doesn't-
it.
Doesn't need to be touched.
Doesn't need to be touched. Okay, and ready for this? When they come back healthy. let's start with Eichel.
Yeah.
Centering Pacioretty and Stone. Easily the best line in the league. Maybe Colorado's, you could debate. Maybe Bergeron, Marchand, Pastrnak. Anyways, one of the best lines in the league. They'll struggle for a bit. They'll have to find their touch, but they're going to be unreal. Second line, played together since the very start. Crazy to think now that I think about it. For 4 years now, they've been the exact same line.
That's
William
crazy.
Karlsson centering Riley Smith and Marchand.
It's been
unreal.
unreal.
Unreal. And ready for this? A guy you wanted to touch on. Chandler Stevenson, who's been centering the first line, who we gave a lot of crap on, that, he's not that guy. He really shouldn't be there. He's good, but he's not that good. Like, why is he on the first line?
Well,
how good is he right now?
He's 10th in the league at points. So
10th in the league in points. 10th in the league in points.
It'll be him, Dadonov, and who?
Roy?
Something like that. We're missing somebody.
We're missing a couple guys, but just unreal depth.
Yeah.
2 unreal lines and a great third line center. But I think one move that will put them over the edge, you always say it, I always say it, one guy to add to that third line that's hard to play against. You lost Reeves on your fourth line. Yeah. One guy that, just brings that spark to the lineup. You throw him out there after a goal against or a goal for, he'll just battle, get the puck in, and he'll do it for the boys.
Kind of like Florida has Montembeau.
Yeah.
No, that's the goalie.
Lomberg.
Whoops. Montembeau's the goalie.
No, but he's in Montreal.
I agree with that point. However, I think if Denny Dadonov's they have to trade somebody for cap reasons. I think he'll be the odd man out,
and he should be.
And they'll probably swap him for like a lower end, tougher guy.
Yeah, like I said, and Reeves, he got traded for a lot. I think it was a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, Reeves was a great trade.
Is not a good hockey player.
No, but he's
It's just
guy.
that element, that scary element that's tough to play against. You need that. You need someone on your team like that.
You need a bulldog.
And they need that.
He's a pit bull.
He is a pit bull.
Another player I want to touch on who's on fire is Chris Kreider, who is in the league 4th in goals.
Yeah.
I think, by the way, that Rangers team.
Oof.
Give him a couple years.
Give him a couple years right now.
Currency.
Why not right now? What do they need? What else do they need?
They need Lafreniere and Kako to develop.
Lafreniere's been playing good. Kako's been playing solid. Yeah. But I agree. In a couple years, in a couple years, when Panarin and Zib are still elite players, Lafreniere and Kako will hopefully be elite. Adam Fox is unreal.
And Shesterkin.
I had to look at the Vegas Golden Knights lineup because I was really intrigued. Nolan Patrick, and the one guy we were forgetting, who is that guy, Matthias Janmark.
No, William Carrier.
No. Matthias Janmark. He's good.
Yeah?
He's good. He came from Dallas. He was unreal.
So they don't need to make a trade.
They don't need anyone. They really don't.
I forgot about Nolan Patrick.
Wow.
That's a guy who could just come out of nowhere in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Is he first overall or second?
Second overall.
Because he sure was first.
Speaking
of he sure, Jack Hughes' contract's working out.
Jack Hughes' contract's working out. He sure can't stay off the injury list.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we don't need to touch about that. So we'll end it off here. Next week, hopefully the season gets going. There's not many COVID cases and all that. Hopefully we could just come back down to earth like it was once and talk about actual hockey, storylines, what's to come. Trade deadline's coming up, so we're going to have to talk about that.
We're going to start talking about that, guys, like Bergeron, Malkin, whose contracts are up.
One episode, maybe next, maybe the one after. I want to let's focus on a trade deadline episode.
100%.
Let's go through, honestly, top teams, things they have to do, players they should add. Anyways, let's end it off here. Guys, we forgot to say this at the beginning. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course. Follow our socials, Instagram, TikTok. We're gonna start doing TikTok again. We started this podcast, so this coming Friday we'll have a TikTok.
We just got out of quarantine.
Exactly.
We're getting our heads back into it.
Yeah, we miss a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
People might think, you've been home this much time, like all you probably do is hockey. But when you're not feeling great, it's hard to really focus on hockey.
It's hard to do things.
I like using my head when I think about
when
hockey.
you feel like a bag of sack of potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes, bricks. Anyways, so let's BettorOff, guys. Download the actual app if you want some advice for picks. It really does help. Again, TikToks will help you guys make picks. So we'll end it off here. I keep saying this, but we're gonna end it, guys. Happy New Year. Anything you want to add quickly?
Wish this guy a happy birthday in the comments.
Happy birthday tomorrow. All right, guys.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Take it to the bank.